realize that this is a losing game. Drug dealers don't have pensions. They don't end up with retirement funds.
Who was Domencio Benson, the Don of Brooklyn, a drug dealer known by his nickname Montana, a friend of Mike Tyson, and was killed by Alpo Martinez. Domencio Benson was born at St. Mary Hospital on Buffalo Avenue in Brooklyn, New York, and he grew up as a mischievous child in the section of Weeksville Gardens. His aunt Sharon recalled how he reliable helping hand during his youth. Domencio had several brothers but lost the younger one in his childhood after the boy tragically drowned in a bathtub. Benson's close friend Klaas explained how this event traumatized Domencio deeply and how whenever he checked on him, Benson seemed depressed but tried to meditating through music. Benson was the subject of teasing in his neighborhood because he was considered as a generic light-skinned pretty boy, but through his reputation he did not have history of dazzling women. Domencio's stepfather, Norman, was protective over him, though the boy didn't like the idea of seeming incapable of handling things himself. Some have believed this motivated Benson's activities in the streets as a youth. He came up in an era among important names in Brooklyn history, such as Lou Hobbs, Frank Nitti, Anthony Monk, Rambo, Ambo, Kendu, Ella, Russon, etc. His circle of friends was composed of figures focused on getting money just much as he was. A man named Pop, who was also Weeksville Gardens, put Domencio and some of his friends onto selling crack. The two formed a partnership which really introduced Benson to the game by the mid-1980s. Domencio had a steady hand in the drug trade alongside many other prominent New York figures in the decade. However, unlike most was tried distributing narcotics, Benson ascended to a kingpin status that saw him orbiting around other high rollers from borough like Kendu Allah. Domencio, nicknamed Montana, once had an altercation with infamous stick-up kid Calvin 50 Cent Martin. The incident occurred at the Empire Roller Skating Center where Martin had a hostile exchange with Benson outside the rink. Once inside, the two engaged in a fight, supposedly caused by Kevin trying to rob Domencio. During the substantially scuffle, 50 Cent was severely beaten down but managed to cut Benson's face just before fleeing. Apparently, the adrenaline kept Domencio from noticing his face was sliced until he heard a woman screaming. The name of Montana Benson rang bells through the Eastern Seaboard's network of flamboyant hustlers and crooks. He was recognized for consistently being fly, wearing custom-made pieces in luxury and streetwear styles. His friend Claude claimed he was the first one in the hood he knew with sheepskin bomber jacket, and above all else, Domencio was well known for his affinity of the brand Fella. In age where people feared looking too expensive, Benson was casually flexed wherever he was. Domencio had two children with his dear love Cindy, who was a close friend of Mike Tyson's younger assistant Jackie Rowe. The beginning of Benson's inevitable downfall began as he stretched his drug operation down south, through Virginia and into Washington D.C., where competition awaited him. At the time in 1991, notorious Harlem informant Alpo Martinez had relocated to D.C. after murdering his former associate Rich Porter. Martinez and his partner Big Head Gary encountered a lot of friction when they tried to set up a shop drug dealing in the District of Columbia. Many locals, including big names like Michael Frey Salters, pushed back against Alpo's attempts and expansion. Martinez used dirty tactics to eliminate competitors who threatened his narcotics business, including hiring people old men to assassinate them. As he tried to narrow down those he felt intimidated by Domencio, began putting pressure on Alpo's neck. Benson made a habit of extorting Alpo out of drug kilos and money, which Martinez soon grew wary, but the catalyst leading to the bitter end was triggered by Domencio's messing around with a woman in DC who just happened to be Alpo's fiancée. Domencio supposedly hit the woman once after an argument, after she proceeded to inform Alpo of the man that assaulted her. After a confrontation between the two parties through a phone call, Martinez devised a scheme to lure Benson out in the open by orchestrating a public basketball tournament in July of 1991. During the game, Alpo exchanged words with Domencio. As they shook hands, Martinez signaled one of his lieutenants across the court. The person the latter was Wayne Silk Perry, his top enforcer at the time, and easily one of the most ruthless people in Washington D.C. underworld. In the past few decades, Perry followed along with the gesture accordingly, and Domencio was shot in the head immediately. Those present supposedly disregarded his body on the court and continued playing the basketball game, adding insult to jury. Alpo called Domencio's family on the phone to claim his innocence and even went as far as sending him flowers. Benson's mother and relatives weren't convinced, to say at least.